Greetings to all Africans at home and across the global African family. This is Voice of Africa, a platform committed to truth, dignity, and the real story of our continent beyond the noise. Tonight, we turn our focus to an East African nation whose quiet strength is often underestimated, a country that rarely dominates global military rankings, yet has built one of the most resilient and strategically protected security architectures on the continent. This nation is Kenya, and what you are about to hear is not hype, not political marketing, and not propaganda. It is the defensive reality of modern Africa. Shaped by geography, alliances, battlefield experience, and strategic restraint. On paper, Kenya fields just over 24,000 active military personnel supported by reserve units. Its defense budget stands a little above $1 billion annually, less than the cost of a single modern Western warship. But security is not measured by numbers alone. It is shaped by terrain, preparedness, partnerships, and the lived reality of conflict. Kenya excels in all four. Start with geography. To the north stretches the Chalbi Desert, one of the most unforgiving landscapes in East Africa. Rainfall is scarce. Water points are few. Temperatures frequently rise beyond 50 degrees Celsius. Any military force advancing through this region would face dehydration, mechanical failure, and dangerously exposed supply lines. Vehicles break down, fuel convoys become targets, soldiers tire quickly under the sun. Geography alone would slow any hostile movement long before Kenya's military ever engages. To the east lies the semi-arid borderland with Somalia. This region is defined by thick bush, narrow roads, river corridors, and limited maneuver space. The Tana River runs for more than 1,000 kilometers, creating a natural defensive belt. These landscapes favor ambush tactics, intelligence-driven patrols, and defensive positioning. Exactly the type of warfare Kenyan forces have practiced for nearly 2 decades. To the west, Lake Victoria and the surrounding highlands form massive natural obstacles. Central Kenya rises sharply into mountainous corridors dominated by the Aberdare Range and Mount Kenya, Africa's second highest peak. These mountains protect the country's economic heartland, funnel movement into narrow routes, and make large-scale mechanized invasion extremely difficult. Military geographers estimate that over 60% of Kenyan territory is unsuitable for conventional mechanized warfare. That alone makes Kenya a fortress by design. But geography is only the first layer. The second layer is modernization. Over the last decade, Kenya has steadily upgraded its defense systems, not to project power outward, but to strengthen deterrence at home. Its forces now field modern armored vehicles, mine-resistant carriers, surveillance drones, upgraded communication networks, and tactical mobility fleets. These improvements enhance rapid response, border control, and internal stabilization. Perhaps most critically, Kenya has reinforced its air defense capacity, historically a vulnerability for many African nations. Mobile surface-to-air systems now protect airfields, power facilities, transport hubs, and command centers. These systems can detect and intercept aircraft, helicopters, drones, and precision-guided weapons, making aerial attacks costly and uncertain. Kenya's modernization is disciplined and strategic. It is not about conquest, it is about denial. Denying adversaries easy access, denying surprise attacks, and denying escalation. The third layer is alliances. Kenya holds major non-NATO ally status with the United States, a designation granted to only a small group of countries worldwide. This status ensures priority access to military training programs, intelligence sharing, defense research initiatives, and streamlined procurement pipelines. The United Kingdom maintains long-term military training facilities inside Kenya, while the United States operates counter-terrorism coordination hubs along Kenya's coast. Joint exercises are regularly conducted, integrating Kenyan forces with Western partners and strengthening interoperability. This means Kenya does not train in isolation. It trains within a broader global defense framework. These partnerships significantly change the strategic calculus. Any major destabilization attempt would attract immediate international monitoring, intelligence coordination, diplomatic pressure, and potentially logistical or operational support. Kenya does not stand alone, yet perhaps Kenya's greatest strength is not geography or alliances, it is experience. Since 2011, Kenyan forces have maintained continuous combat deployments in Somalia under African Union stabilization missions. This is not ceremonial peacekeeping, it is active counter-insurgency warfare against one of Africa's most resilient militant organizations. Kenyan troops have operated in urban centers, rural corridors, and border regions. They have faced ambushes, improvised explosive devices, and complex coordinated attacks. They have learned how to secure supply lines, protect civilian populations, conduct intelligence-driven operations, and adapt to irregular warfare. This experience produces a force that is tactically flexible, psychologically resilient, and deeply familiar with the realities of modern conflict. Any hostile force would not face inexperienced recruits. It would face soldiers who have survived real battlefields. Now consider the strategic environment. Which neighboring state would realistically launch a large-scale invasion? Somalia lacks the capacity. South Sudan faces internal instability. Uganda and Tanzania are regional partners. Ethiopia manages domestic pressures. Any conventional invasion would immediately trigger regional concern and international response, and would offer no strategic prize worth the cost. There is no valuable territory to seize, no critical resource monopoly to capture, and no easy path to success. The real threats Kenya faces are terrorism, insurgency, smuggling networks, and cross-border instability, precisely the threats Kenya has spent nearly 2 decades countering. Kenya's doctrine is not about regional dominance. It is about stability, deterrence, and controlled resilience. It is about holding key terrain, protecting population centers, securing infrastructure, and making escalation slow, costly, diplomatically dangerous, and strategically unattractive. This strategy works. Kenya's shield is not only steel and soldiers, it is terrain, it is alliances. It is experience, it is planning, it is restraint, it is quiet strength, and in a continent that has endured too many reckless conflicts, quiet strength is the highest form of power. If this story has helped you better understand Africa's present and future, we invite you to gently tap the like button. It helps this message reach more people who care about truth, stability, and progress on our continent. We also welcome your thoughts in the comments. Share your perspective respectfully and let us continue these conversations in the spirit of unity, learning, and mutual understanding. And if you believe in balanced, African-centered reporting that protects dignity, sovereignty, and peace, we invite you to subscribe to Voice of Africa and turn on your notifications so you never miss an update. Together, we can amplify stories that inform, uplift, and strengthen Africa's voice on the global stage. Until next time, stay informed, stay grounded, and always stand with Africa.